Motor Speedway, annual center stage for Memorial Day weekend for America's best dirt track late model competition, as the first super event of 1996 for late model racing. The Show Me 100 is ready for the kings of its sport and the many challengers to the throne to meet for one giant take-it-all clash. And all who have come to West Plains, Missouri are ready to witness the showdown at the Show Me. The fourth annual Show Me 100 is brought to you by Ford Commercial Trucks, maker of the all-new Ford Aeromax 113, America's new Aeromax, and by Barry Wright Race Cars. With Barry Wright, it's done the right way. And by Gibson Racing, the host of the Show Me 100. Southern Missouri is the center of the universe for dirt track late model racing this weekend as the Show Me 100 winds up one more time for the fourth annual Show Me 100 at West Plains Motor Speedway. Hello, race fans. This is Trace Ali along with Gary Godley, and we're here to watch perhaps the biggest race of the year. In fact, it's the start of what we call the big payoff races for 1996, Gary.
That's right, Trace. We've got drivers from all over the country here from different sanctioning bodies who race at different tracks and have their own battles here, but I tell you what, this time they got to go against the best, and the best are here. It's $30,000 to win and $3,000 just to get into the show, and I think we're going to see a lot of great racing here tonight.
There'll be a lot of great racing. In fact, it'll include a lot of the great racers. 8 to 10 of the best drivers in America are here to race for this money. Now, 2 of those drivers who are competing and going to be in the race tonight have already won the Show Me 100. Billy Moyer Jr. from Batesville, Arkansas, over 500 wins in the millions and winning so far in his career, has already won the first 2 Show Me 100s. And last year, Scott Bloomquist, the reigning champion of the Havre-Tampa Dirt Racing Series, current points leader and champion both for 94 and 95, is going to be right in there with him. He won it last year. We talked to both of those guys. Let's look and see what their career is doing right now. Throughout the mid and upper Midwest region, Billy Moyer Jr. has dominated dirt track racing for over a decade. His domination includes the first 2 wins of the Show Me 100. He's back for an attempt to win a third.
Last night the car would go wherever I wanted it to go, and I just feel real good about it. You know, the car's got to work with the driver, and, you know, we was here practice night and wasn't happy at all. You know, we changed everything on this thing but the paint on it yesterday, I think, and, you know, finally hit on the right combination, we feel like. So I feel real good about it tonight. You know, the car in the heat race, we had some of the quicker laps of anybody in the heats, and, you know, running the car fairly conservative. So I feel like, you know, if we make the right tire choices and stuff here, the track stays, you know, close to how it was last night. I think we got a real good combination for that.
But Scott Bloomquist won the Show Me 100 in 1995, the only time Moyer hasn't won. And Bloomquist is very impressive in his career as he has dominated the Havre-Tampa Super National Late Model Series, winning back-to-back season championships. And he's ready to defend his 1995 Show Me 100 title win.
Every time we get to this place, you know, everybody's got different equipment, and there's some guys running pretty good out there, and we feel like we're running extremely well also. The key tonight is just going to be getting your final setup and tire combination, and I think we were pretty good last night. So we think we got a great shot tonight, as good as ever. So we will be there, I'm sure.
Billy Moyer Jr. from Batesville, Arkansas, practically in his backyard, and Scott Bloomquist from Mooresburg, Tennessee. 2 of the most competitive guys you'll ever meet anywhere, and they're right here for this race, trying to repeat as the only 2 winners so far of the Show Me 100 in Missouri.
And if Lady Luck has anything to do with this race here this weekend, there's 107 other drivers who'd like to win this race. And this is one of the greatest racetracks here in America, and we're going to talk to some of those drivers about the raceability of this racetrack.
No matter what corner of America the race car drivers who come to the Show Me 100 represent, they all enjoy the raceability of the Show Me 100's West Plains Motor Speedway.
you know, last year it rained a lot, so it was hooked up top, bottom. You could run about anywhere. Where last night they had it pound down pretty smooth and hard and slick. And there was one fairly fast groove about middle away, not quite high, but middle to high, I'd call it. It was really good. And normally this track here, right around the pole, was real fast. Now, they've hauled some dirt in last night, and they're doing some changes to it, so it could be a whole new racetrack. So we're kind of sitting there going to watch the consies real seriously, like the spectator versus a racer. We're going to watch.
There's a lot of good cars around here, and a lot of them are running up front, you know, that I normally run against, just getting the right setup and stuff. We got a lot of competition, and a lot of good cars here.
It's a good smooth track, and with the even bank like it has on it, it's a good passing track, and I think you'll see a lot of track position on the track, whether it be high or low. And I don't think it'll be a large factor on whether you can pass or not. I think you can pass high if your car is good, or low if it's good for the low groove. So, you know, that's one of the reasons why I think they draw so many cars here, is because it is a good passing track and makes it good for the fans and for the racers as well.
I think from what I can gather and what I can feel in my car, that you got to have some maneuverability here, you know, to be able to pass high or low. And there were some cars that was really good. Billy was really good last night in his heat and stuff, passing lap cars and stuff. So I think if we can get the car maneuverable and I can adjust, I believe we'll be able to get in the show.
And it's really a driver racetrack, and your car's got to be real, real good. And I think the fastest car will win the race tonight. It won't be somebody holding somebody up. There's really no blocking. It's all just who can keep their momentum and keep their car real smooth and free. And that's the person that'll win the race. It won't be somebody that's going out there trying to kill the car or smoking the tires down. That won't get it. It'll be real finesse driving, and that's what we're going to try to do today.
And as you heard, there are as many ways to get around this racetrack as there are drivers.
And of course, we got to see a lot of that action last night with the heat races on Friday night. We're going to come back in a moment after words from our sponsor and take a look at some of the best heat racing you're ever going to see anywhere here at the 4th annual Show Me 100 from West Plains Motor Speedway. Stay with us. Thousands of race fans are coming to the Show Me 100 for the 4th time to watch some of the best racing in America. As we said earlier, great racetrack. And the most incredible part of it is the heat racing that actually determines who's going to get into these final races. And boy, what a set of races last night, Gary.
Yeah, the format here for the Show Me 100 is we're going to have 6 heat races where the top 3 go on to the big show, giving us 18. Tonight we're going to have consolation races, and that's going to finish the field of 24 for the Show Me 100.
And they're every step of the way involved with battling to the front. In fact, we watched those races last night and saw some incredible action. Let's look at some of the highlights from those races right now. 19 cars ready to roll at West Plains Motor Speedway. The beginning of the heat races tonight from West Plains Motor Speedway. Billy Moyer shoots to the outside of the inside lane and stays just slightly inside. The 3-4 wide in turn 4, but Billy Moyer is being passed up front by the B4 car of Jack Boggs. Jack almost to the outside, but Moyer pulls back on the low side and brings him back in. And he hits him. Black Jack Boggs got across Billy Moyer and is in the wall in turn 1 and 2. What a start after one lap, Gary.
Hard into the wall. That left front there looks like it did take some bad damage with the upper and lower control arms. You can see by our shot here. Take a look at that left front tire. It's pointed in the wrong direction compared to the other one.
The bump that was heard around the Midwest. The shot fired across the bow by Billy Moyer, or actually Jack Boggs, who got in front of Moyer, and Moyer just kept on coming, and there he went. The cars are going too wide. They're getting them lined up again, ready to roll here at West Plains Motor Speedway as the Show Me 100 will again attempt to restart heat race number 1. No laps in the book, and we're still looking to get started. The acceleration's underway, and away we go as Billy Moyer Jr. now takes a commanding position in the front and pulls away from the crowd. Deep in the pack, you just saw Wendell Wallace on your screen trying to shoot ahead. He's pushed up into 4th, and he's battling to the inside on the low side of the racetrack, trying to get inside that 11P car of Dick Phillips, trying to hold his own. Billy Moyer, very quick, very smooth, looking exactly like he's ready to repeat history on this racetrack. Wendell Wallace certainly has been around this racetrack a few times, and of course he's trying to chase down Billy Moyer, but Moyer continues to pull away, and Wendell Wallace has a pretty good setup, but as we knew earlier, Wallace did not qualify quite as quickly, obviously, and found himself sitting a little bit further back in the pack at the start. In fact, Wallace started out in the 3rd position, 3rd row outside, in the early part of the race, but has now brought himself up to first after that bang with Boggs, so to speak, with Billy Moyer on the very first lap. Moyer on the outside now. He's coming around. He'll be taking the white flag at West Plains Motor Speedway. One more lap to go, and Billy Moyer will own the pole for the third time in 4 years at West Plains Motor Speedway for the Show Me 100. He looks great. He looks absolutely in total command, Gary. And here he comes. Bring him in, Gary.
Here he comes, Billy Moyer, your winner of the first heat, and that means he's going to the big show traces, like we said, to the Show Me 100.
Dwayne Johnson turns them loose one more time as they restart heat race number 2 at West Plains Motor Speedway for the Show Me 100 qualifying 2, 3, almost 4 wide going through turn 2, and a big battle down the back straightaway with Mike Bauer sandwiched right in the middle with Skip Arp sliding on the inside and coming down, heading to the low side of the racetrack, trying to find ground to make up and pull himself ahead. Donnie Barnhart going by in third, with David Gibson in front of him. And again, more battle behind. There's the 71 car. Apparently, Don O'Neill has slid back. If that is the 71 car of Don O'Neill, he's now back, and Ray Cook and Skip Arp of the Havantapa Race Series are going past him. Skip Arp made the position. There goes Ray Cook to the high side. He may keep ahead even of Skip Arp. Skip is trying to hold on, and C28's Kenny Merchant is holding on back there in fourth. Donnie Barnhart, winner of the 1994 Armadillo Nationals at Lone Star Speedway in the 11 car, running third out of North Little Rock, Arkansas. But by front, it's David Gibson now pushing around the 5 car, who's being lapped. He has slipped to the back of the pack there and is now pushed around by Ash Flat, Arkansas's David Gibson in the G2 car, looking for room to run and currently holding second behind Don O'Neill from Illinois. There he goes now back to the inside. He's running at will on the racetrack, Gary. Look at that. He went on the high side and then just dove down into turn 1. He runs anywhere he wants to on the racetrack, and the car just goes right on through.
Anytime a driver can put that car anywhere he wants to, he is hot and he is hooked up, as they say in dirt racing. And I tell you what, he's showing the way around this track right now. The 228 cars battling side by side coming out of turn 4. There's a great look at them as they come across, and there's 2 laps to go in this second heat race.
C28, of course, is Kenny Merchant from Ruston, Louisiana. Johnny Verdon now inside the other 28C car, trying to bring it up, and he has made that position. We're on the white flag lap, so now it's up to Don O'Neill to bring it home and take that first win for him, and he takes it. The checkered flag comes out for Don O'Neill. There's Don O'Neill in the 71 car. And the start underway here with heat race number 3 at West Plains Motor Speedway. Rick Auckland just burns through the turn, and we have a spin out on the outside pole position of the 27 car and gets tagged just a little bit there in the turn 2 wall by Mark Miner. Once again, the third heat race starting here for the Show Me 100 qualifying tonight. And again, some disaster on the first lap right off the bat. There they go. The fire is underway. Again, Rick Auckland blasts to the inside. Again, does the same thing. Shoots to the low side of the turn. Goes high into 3 and 4. And 3, 4 wide cars in the back there. All trying to get through, ease their way through without wrecking each other. The 66 car bites a little and jumps to the outside and holds his own.
Oh, there we're looking at 3, 4 cars coming out of turn 2.
3, 4 wide. Look at that.
Here. It's not going to go, guys. Somebody's going to have to back off. And these cars, Trace, they're down low, they're down high. They're looking for that advantage.
Right now, we've got Ronnie Johnson on screen, who is apparently running in 5th place so far in the race. The 12 car of Rick Auckland is the car holding the lead at this moment. He was just involved for a moment there with another car, I believe a lap car that we saw on the screen, that's trying to stay ahead of him, but Rick Auckland is finding it easier just to hold back and just hold his pace and keep up the tempo. Sliding on the low side, back up on the inside, passing on the 00 car there of John Kosick. Here comes the white flag, but let's look at the battle behind him. Rick Auckland, unless something happens, is winning. Let's see who's going to grab 2 and 3. Clint Smith has moved all the way to second, rolling by us there. Let's take a look at Clint Smith behind him. The 27 car battling Bob Pullman, still trying to hold on to third. There goes Rick Auckland. He has taken the win. The checkered flag takes Clint Smith in second, and the B12 car, I believe, B12 of Kevin Weaver finishes third. The leaders, of course, still on the pole. It's Bob Pierce with Jeep Berry on the outside. A free, clean fire as they go down the back straight, in front straightaway into turn 2. And again, Jeep stays high. Rex McCroskey shoots underneath and is headed for, he's trying to get into second. He's still third to the Jeep Berry car. 3 wide, a little tangle there in turn 4. Here they come. McCroskey has now made the position. He's pulled to second. He's inside G. Berry. He made that move stick. And here comes Freddie Smith. Freddie's now on the inside, but with speed, G. Berry pushes back on the outside, comes back ahead of him. But Freddie Smith, a warrior for sure, of over 700 wins in dirt track late model racing, has grabbed the position, now in third, with Bob Pierce having the best of it, running freely up front. Pierce running very quickly, very easily, having no problems. He doesn't have to fight with anyone, doesn't have to worry about tire wear with only 20 laps in this race. He gets the white flag here and will head around for one more trip on West Plains Motor Speedway's 3/8 mile and take that fast time into the books tonight, find himself in the 100-lap feature race. He's headed into turn 3 now, staying very straight. You'll notice all the guys winning tonight are up against the wall. It's the 75 car of Berry. And I believe we got the checkered flag because the incident took place on the last lap. Bob Pierce has grabbed it. And 12 other drivers now know their status for tomorrow night's race. Their destiny will include a shot at $30,000 to win. We'll be back with more heat race action in a moment. Scott Bloomquist on the inside pole position. As always, a very familiar moment and feeling for him. He leads the 18 cars at West Plains Motor Speedway ready to run heat race number 5 for the Show Me 100 qualifying. And away we go. Bub McCool on the outside, staying to the outside, of course, forced to 4 wide. Now 5 wide in turn 2. My God, that was a lot of people in one place. And we're going to get through. G1's pushed to the outside by the 28C car. He's gone a little high there, went a little crazy in the first part of the race. Robbie Starnes trying to hold off Al Perkey there as they go through turn 2 in the 77 car. Inside the 55 car of Esri, now being passed by the 17 car. There's a lot of passing going on in this race, Gary. Look at these guys, almost 4 wide in turn 4. Just the 3 of them almost boxed out the one in the 28 car, but he has slipped back. The 55 car of Esri is getting sandwiched in the middle, trying not to get into trouble. Scott Bloomquist has the lead, flying by on lap number 7, holding on, and he will definitely be hard to beat in this race. Behind him, Bub McCool is holding on to second, and behind that, the 22 car of Stan Massey from Mableton, Georgia. As we said just a few minutes ago, he doesn't normally race outside of Georgia, so this is very impressive to see him on this racetrack. Bub McCool goes a little wide, throws the rear end out. He's trying to drive wider, but Stan Massey staying to the outside now has him caught. He's down the back straightaway, accelerates past him. Bub McCool is now fighting for his life to hang on to second, and Stan Massey's got the high side, looking like he's going to pull past him. He is still not quite. He's got the position on this turn if he can just, he's a little high. Bub McCool comes back underneath, and again Massey makes that leap off of turn 2. The white flag comes out for Bloomquist, and the battle now is for second is now established with Stan Massey. He made that move, and he's chasing Scott Bloomquist. But Bub McCool holds on to third as they all take the white flag. And Scott Bloomquist comes around turn 4, looking for a victory now in heat race number 5, and takes the win, followed by Stan Massey and Bub McCool. What a run on that particular race, Gary. Apparently they're going for it now. The green flag is out. Dwayne Johnson turns them loose. John Gill is rolling away there. He's grabbed the stretch there, took it away from the first 75 car, and looks great as he accelerates down the back straightaway. Gill looks like he's gone to town and plans to get there in a hurry. A beautiful pass on the inside there. John Gill just threads the needle, shoots between 2 cars, passes a lap car, and takes Bart Hartman with him as they race now in lap 9 down the back straightaway at West Plains Motor Speedway. It looks fast. It looks furious. It is. Look at these 2 guys go. The 75 car battle continues. Bart Hartman keeps sliding a little harder up to the wall, Gary. John Gill's now getting a little bit of a challenge. Bart Hartman slides just a little bit up out of turn 4, almost into John Gill. John pushed a little spurt of speed there through and got out of it through turn 1 now on the back straightaway and pushes out about 3 cars ahead. But Hartman comes back at him, staying deep into turn 3, into 4. Here they come. They've got 1 car sliding inside of them. Hartman's line gets interrupted just a little. He has to slow down for the 26 car, but John Gill is roaring. Bart Hartman coming back at him on the low inside of turn 2. Now the acceleration for John Gill's car, quicker on the back straightaway. Again, pulls him away. Hartman locks it up a little bit into fourth, but pulls back up on Gill. Gill lets him follow into turn 1 and 2. Gill's going high. Now Hartman's on the inside. Gill grabs the top part of the line on turn 2, accelerates quickly like a slingshot down the back straightaway, and here comes Hartman back to the inside. Can he catch him with the left traffic? Can he make the move inside here? No. Again, Gill points the car, jerks it to the left, pulls himself into the low side in turn 1, and the white flag is out. The two of them will battle on lap 19. Hartman wants to make a race of it all the way to the end. Will he pull it down? We'll find out. Gill's to the inside. Hartman goes high one more time, and John Gill takes the win with approval from everyone.
And as you see, that is just some of the great racing excitement we're going to have here for the Show Me 100, and that gave us our first 18 cars into that race.
All of them trying to jump in there big time. $3,000 to start, $30,000 to win. You can't get any more excitement or probably any more money in one race than right here at the Show Me 100. We're coming back in a moment, so stay with us. We'll take a look at tonight's lineup when we return. Putting the sizzle in race cars all over the United States. Out of Cowpen, South Carolina, Barry Wright, you've built a lot of race cars. We see Scott Bloomquist, Ronnie Johnson, and a lot of other very successful race car drivers in there. One of the things that's happened in this kind of business is somebody comes up with something like you do, and it all changes. Everybody else suddenly picks up. Let's talk about something that Barry Wright Race Cars has done the last couple of years that has changed what you do in a car. For example, you were telling me a little bit about the radiator earlier, Barry.
Yeah, we have to, most of our races are 100 lappers, so we have to stay real cool. So we were running a heat exchanger in the middle of the car, so I talked to Buddy Griffin at Griffin Radiator, and they come up with this idea of putting the heat exchanger in the radiator, and it's really worked good. It used to sit in the middle of the car, and you had about 4 extra lines you had to run to it. So we've eliminated 2 lines, and it cools a lot better.
Well, in fact, I can tell right away by the fact that you don't have those extra lines that you've eliminated some problems because you have less things to put up there. But the other concern would be is how do you get the heat transfer? Obviously, those lines must have taken some of the heat away.
Well, really, the lines took a little out of it, but the air coming through the radiator, cooling the water to the oil, you know, just like a transmission cooler. It just works on the same basics, but it cools oil probably 25 degrees.
And as a result of that, the car now runs with more power and yet stays a little bit cooler.
Right, it runs cooler, plus the water temperature also goes down, you know, and so that way you run 100 lappers in the hot weather like we got today and be a lot more successful.
Barry Wright race cars, they always jump ahead out front very quickly. Once they figure out what the track's about, they make it happen. As you can see, innovation is always a key with Barry Wright at the helm. Right now on your screen, we're looking at the cars lining up 3 wide for what should be the biggest, perhaps most spectacular opening of a race you're ever going to see from the Show Me 100 right here at West Plains Motor Speedway. Gary, this is an awesome field of cars. We've been watching closely tonight in the Consolations and all the other races. There have been some incredibly good cars not make this race. For $3,000 to start, it's been the top field going after it every step of the way, and the fireworks are beginning to unfold on the infield, as you can see right here from West Plains Motor Speedway as Memorial Day comes to life with 24 of the fastest cars in America on dirt tracks running right here before you here tonight with this spectacular The Show Me 100 from West Plains Motor Speedway. Let's take a look at the starting lineup, Gary. Row 1, of course, Billy Moyer from Batesville, Arkansas. Outside him, Don O'Neill from Martinsville, Indiana. In row number 2, Rick Auckland from Fargo, North Dakota. And number 32, Bob Pierce from Danville, Illinois, starting fourth.
And on the inside row, number 3, car number 18, Scott Bloomquist out of Mooresburg, Tennessee. And 75, John Gill out of Mitchell, Indiana. Row 4, number 75, Bart Hartman out of Zanesville, Ohio. And car G2, David Gibson out of Ash Flat, Arkansas.
Starting in row number 5 inside, it's Clint Smith from Griffin, Georgia, in car number 1. And then next to him, it'll be car 64 with Rex McCroskey from Springfield, Missouri. Row 6, it's Stan Massey, the 22 car from Mableton, Georgia. And the number 6 car outside him On row 6 is Wendell Wallace from Batesville, Arkansas.
And row number 7, car 27, Bob Pullman out of Oak Lawn, Illinois. And car 57J, Bub McCool out of Vicksburg, Mississippi. Row 8, number 11, Donnie Barnhart out of North Little Rock, Arkansas. And number F1, Jeff Floyd out of Walnut Ridge, Arkansas.
Row number 9, Jim Curry from Norman, Indiana in the 7 car. Next to the 00 car, Freddie Smith, actually from Kings Mountain, North Carolina. And at row number 10, L51 first consolation race winner tonight, Wayne Brooks from Bald Knob, Arkansas. Outside him, also a consolation race winner, Ronnie Johnson, car number 5 from Chattanooga, Tennessee.
And row 11, number 75, Terry Phillips out of Springfield, Missouri. And car number 21, Dale McDowell out of Chickamauga, Georgia. On the last row, car number 12, or row 12, number 33, Al Perkey out of Coffeyville, Kansas. And car number 9, Mike Jewell out of Scottsburg, Indiana.
This is just an unbelievable night. You can't believe how lucky you are to be watching this, and we can't believe how lucky we are, Gary, to be sitting here, to be part of this incredible spectacle. And I do mean spectacle at West Plains Motor Speedway. It's getting close to time. Our flagman will take a look at it one more time, and we'll get ready to roll here. We've got a lot of folks excited. We've got everyone prepared. This moment is the moment everyone's waited for an entire year since Scott Bloomquist was the winner in 1995. Now it's Billy Moyer on the pole, leading the charge as 24 of the fastest dirt track late models in America fly through turn 1. So far without incident, 2 and 3 wide in the back there. But again, Moyer shooting to the inside, quickly getting a lot of challenge from Don O'Neill from Martinsville, Indiana. And he has taken the lead. Don O'Neill just blasted through there, and Billy Moyer slipped just for a moment out of turn 4, and now the Martinsville, Indiana driver is running to the front with Moyer on his tail.
And back in third place, Rick Laughlin out of Fargo, North Dakota. He's currently holding down third. And number 32 in fourth, Bob Pierce, all the way from Danville, Illinois, as they're trying to get themselves separated from the rest of the pack.
Apparently, the 32 car has moved up into third place, and Scott Bloomquist is now into fourth. He's moved up by 1 position and passed 1 car. We're trying to pick up the car that has been overtaken at this point. Out in front, of course, it's the 71 car, Don O'Neill, followed by Billy Moyer, and then the 12 car of Auckland. Now inside it goes Bob Pierce out there in turn 3 into 4, and Clint Smith is going inside, Rex McCroskey and David Gibson, almost 3 wide. A little bit of a touch there with McCroskey and Clint Smith coming out of turn 4 down the straight into turn 1 as we go into turn and out of turn 2 right now. 3 wide on that back straightaway, Gary.
Yeah, we're watching these guys. They're trying to find that groove. It looks like most of them are going to settle down on the inside. But again, this is a 100-lap race. There's a long ways to go. And I tell you what, we're only 5 laps into this race, and they're starting to string themselves out in single file.
Rick Auckland has now moved into third, where he finished last year in the Show Me 100 here from West Plains, Missouri. But out in front, pulling away, it's Don O'Neill from Martinsville, Indiana, who has absolutely shocked everybody right now, who expected to see Billy Moyer run to the front and just cruise away. Obviously, Don O'Neill has found the tire combination and has a great hooked-up race car. Don O'Neill has now led 13 laps. Of course, Billy Moyer running second behind him, and Rick Auckland, of course, still in third with Scott Bloomquist trying to make that move. Still trying, I believe, to pass on the car driven by Bob Pierce, the number 32 car. We're looking back in the field to 22 car, Stan Massey, coming around out of turn 4, heading on the front straightaway with Donnie Barnhart from North Little Rock coming after him. David Gibson from Ash Flat, Arkansas right behind that, and plenty of other cars making the challenge. There was the number 5 car of Ronnie Johnson. He had fought his way literally into this race tonight by winning the consolation race earlier, the second consolation race tonight. Had some bad tire choice on that heat race night before and did very poorly, but finds himself tonight at least $3,000 richer for getting into this race, Gary. Look at the 4 wide there.
Yeah, again, these guys are fighting for position, and again, this track is, you can go anywhere on it when your car is set up right. We've noticed that the cars on the back stretch and on the front stretch, it's gradually coming out to come up and tuck yourself up against that wall.
That was Jeff Floyd in the number F1 car from Walnut Ridge, Arkansas. Another one of the Arkansasians that are out here battling away here tonight with all the rest of the folks from America. 71 still continues to lead, of course. That's Don O'Neill. He's got Billy Moyer, though, snaking around in the back there after 17 laps as they head for 18 here. making the move on the outside. Now Moyer may be getting a little more aggressive here. He may make the decision here to go ahead and try to go to the high side, see if he can find the groove. He is finding something up there now. Now Moyer's alongside the Don Neal car. O'Neal is running inside, trying to keep the Wayne Brooks car, but Wayne Brooks just took a tag from Moyer. Moyer's letting him know he's holding up the race progress here, and O'Neal is trying to find his way past another car that's being lapped. The 7 car of Jim Curry, trying to stay ahead of both of them, and both of those cars dangling with each other, trying to tangle with those in front of them only enough to get them out of the way so they continue to roll. Moyer again now to the inside of O'Neal. Now he's beginning to find another groove on the inside of the racetracks as the Show Me 100 blasts for 20 laps, 80 to go, and a big battle right here on the back straightaway, Gary.
Yeah, one of the most important things we're going to see here is only after 20 laps, they are lapping the field already, and that traffic's going to be very important for the guy who wants to get that $30,000 in that first place tonight.
Billy Moyer has been just hooked up from the second he got on this racetrack 3 days ago during practice, and now he's trying with everything right now to stay smooth but aggressive as O'Neal continues to lead him, and again tries to move inside just a little bit quicker. Again, O'Neal staying just high enough on the front straightaway to hold him back. O'Neal's got a great running car, but Moyer has definitely got himself one too. There's a battle here that's going to rage for at least a couple, except for now Billy Moyer's getting inside him. He may have him this time. Billy Moyer trying to make the pass here. Lap 23 in the books, lap 23 now underway, and Moyer holding him to the inside, making a strong move. O'Neal trying to hold him off, and Moyer still pushing through turn 3. Again, nosing just a little bit past him. Watch the cars. It slides just a little further forward each time. Now it looks like he's got the position, but O'Neal goes high again. Moyer's getting trapped behind Mike Jewell just a little bit, then slides to the inside, drives a little wider there, holds O'Neal off, and seems to have the position, and the yellow caution flag has come out. Something has interfered with the race. We'll try to find out what it is here in just a second. A car up along the front straightaway wall seems to be, I believe, the 33 car, Al Perkey from Kansas. Perkey down here in turn 1, obviously slowed down considerably, and he will stop the race with 23 laps in the book. Gary, let's take a break for Ford and all the other folks. We'll be back in a moment with more from the Show Me 100, the 4th annual version from West Plains Motor Speedway. Welcome back to West Plains Motor Speedway. The Show Me 100 is underway, 23 laps in the books, and Billy Moyer, the expected favorite, who has already won 2 of these races and $30,000 in his pocket both times, is running second to this car on your screen, the 71 car of Don O'Neal from Martinsville, Indiana. So far, he has been just a streak, Gary. He's taken right off. But what is making this race all the more interesting, he started 5th, but Scott Bloomquist is now 3rd. The race is back underway, and away we go. Again, quickly scooting to the front, blasting through turn 1, staying smooth, and very perfectly straight through turn 2. It's the Don O'Neal car from Martinsville, Indiana, doing very well, but Billy Moyer on a mission to repeat again as the winner of the Show Me 100 is right on his tail. But Scott Bloomquist continues to bring it up. Rick Auckland in 4th with another car behind or between him. That is a lap car he is trying to pass at this point. Moyer's car is absolutely ballistic at this point, and of course inside that car beats the heart of one of the most competitive people in racing in the world. He's got well over 500 wins on racetracks all over America, especially in this region of the country, near his home of Batesville, Arkansas.
And Scott Bloomquist on a mission up there in 3rd, and it looks like we may even have a attempt for a pass from first. It's 21, gets on the outside, but gets cut off by number 71, Don McNeil. But again, keep your eye on Bloomquist. He's a man on a mission, and we're on our 26th lap. We got 75 to go.
As the racetrack continues to remain slick in lap 26, we've got the battle with Moyer to the outside now, trying to make his pass on the 71 car. He's high enough. He may have it. He's got enough power, but Don O'Neal stays underneath but loses it. Moyer did blast around him. He finally grabbed and shot out of turn 2, got that bite he was looking for in the right rear, and the rest of the car just hooked up and took off down the racetrack. Now, the Don O'Neal from Martinsville, Indiana's got a battle behind him that's going to really scare him, and it's Scott Bloomquist, the winning Tampa Series champion 2 years in a row and current points champion from Mooresburg, Tennessee. This man knows the racetrack. He won the race last year, and he's pulling up behind O'Neal now, pushing his car, the number 18 Cornette engine-built car, forward faster and faster, looking for his next line that will take him possibly to the front. In the background, Donnie Barnhart from North Little Rock slips a little as Stan Massey moves to the outside and passes him. And the number 6 car ahead of them, Wendell Wallace, again searches for a position on the track.
Wendell Wallace out of Batesville, Arkansas, trying to make a good show here tonight, which is kind of like his home track, but he's got a long ways to go here with 30 laps down into the Show Me 100, Trace.
In fact, he got a huge response out of the crowd, probably the biggest one of everybody here tonight almost, with the exception possibly of Billy Moyer, also his brother-in-law from Batesville, Arkansas. Scott Bloomquist in second, of course. Gary, he's running as strong as I've seen him run anywhere, but Billy Moyer is just simply wired for sound and speed here tonight. Look how fast, quick through that turn, 2 of the fastest cars in America. Did you see how they just held in that turn?
Man, these guys are flying around here, but something's very important is getting ready to happen here. We have some lap traffic coming up, and whoever gets around that the best, after 50 laps, we're at halfway right now, is going to win this big payday of $30,000.
That's right. Billy Moyer now knows that he and Scott Bloomquist will have to tussle. It can't be just a clear sail anymore. Bloomquist won't allow it, and Moyer won't allow him to try to get around him without a great fight on his hands. Moyer is absolutely golden on this racetrack, and right now Scott Bloomquist is looking for places and possibilities to make the pass. He's inside now there, but he slides back just a little. Bloomquist has begun his search for the right spot. Now it's up to Moyer to try to decide if he can keep the fast place on the racetrack and still continue to hold Bloomquist. It looks like Bloomquist is going to try once again, if not many times, to try to pull inside and take it away from Billy Moyer. Inside, classic racing, 2 of the top race cars and the top drivers in America going at it at the Show Me 100 in West Plains, Missouri. Coming around out of turn 4, again, Bloomquist sticking just behind the Billy Moyer car. Behind him, the 71 car, fighting for his life with Griffin George's Clint Smith putting on the best race of his entire year so far. He is coming on so strong. This is amazing. Clint Smith finally figured out the tire combination. He's got the car white hot and rolling inside on turn 2, pulling inside, but Bloomquist up ahead, still on the hunt, still trying to find that way around Billy Moyer. 60 laps in the books, and 2 of the best and the brightest pushing each other, pushing to the limits. Moyer is now slightly behind. Bloomquist has got him on the inside. If his tires can hold, he may pull this pass. This may be the moment. Moyer again goes to the high side, his speed accelerating on the back straightaway, but Bloomquist continues to hold. His car sticks beautifully. Moyer slides just a little in turn 4. He's come to the outside again, side by side now for 2 solid laps. Moyer keeps trying to hold the position, goes a little bit in the front as they shoot down the back straightaway, but it's obvious that Scott Bloomquist had the position on him there for just a minute, but he couldn't quite hold it. Moyer has outlasted the charge from Scott Bloomquist in lap 63. But again, here comes Bloomquist back on the inside. Incredible challenge going on. Who is going to take this race? We've got to stick it out and wait and see. But look right now at these 2 cars. One of these 2 cars, if they don't get together, is going to be the winner. If they do, possibly Griffin George's miracle could occur tonight as Clint Smith rides high in the 3rd position behind them.
And in 3rd place, while all this is going on, take a look back. It's car number 1, Clint Smith, who started 9th. He's moving up on him while this battle's going on. It's giving him a chance to catch up, Trace, as we look at him as he moves back here through the backstretch and heads into turn 3.
Bloomquist now has the number 1 car, Clint Smith. Clint did make it around. He's moved to 3rd, and he's fighting again to hang on to Bloomquist's tail. Now he's going inside Bloomquist. This is amazing, ladies and gentlemen. Bloomquist's car seems to have slowed, and Clint Smith has picked up the pace and has gone to the inside. Now he's shooting to the inside, trying to make that pass on Bloomquist. The crowd's going to its feet on that one, and Moyer continues silky smooth to pull away in first out of turn 2. Moyer now leaving them behind as the 2 of them battle. The hooked up battle here causes them to lose speed, Gary.
Yep, Clint Smith looks like he may have saved his tire, and they come up just about the right time as car 18 again. Scott Bloomquist may have burned up some of those tires with his battle with Billy Moyer, and this battle between 18 and number 1 has allowed Billy Moyer to kind of sneak away from him.
Scott Bloomquist was holding on there for just a second on 74. At the 75th lap, we watched the lights indicate first in second it was the 18 car, then it was the 1 car, then it was the 18 car, then it was the 1 car. David Gibson from Ash Flat, Arkansas has a problem. He's out there slowing down in turn 2. Let's take another short break for our sponsors and come back with more coverage here of the Show Me 100 from West Plains Motor Speedway. Billy Moyer getting set. Scott Bloomquist lining up on the back. Here they go. A quick dive down on the apron, coming across the bank. Out of turn 4, the green flag carries them to the front. And away we go into turn 1 once again. Now, can Bloomquist continue that pace and pull up? Bob Pierce on the outside, now running 4th, trying to get back into some kind of contention. Maybe he's been fighting a battle of holding those tires, Gary.
Yep, again, the guys that conserve the tires, they're going to be there. And again, our 3rd place car, Clint Smith out of Georgia, he has an opportunity here, but let's see what our 2 leaders in 1st and 2nd do here. And if they have another side-by-side battle, he's going to be right there in the middle of it.
That's right. Actually, for the Griffin, Georgia native, that would be tremendously helpful if Bloomquist and Moyer would go at it again. All he'd have to do is ride back there, pray like crazy, and hope that his tires would hold up while the 2 leaders continue to burn at each other and burn that right rear tire. It's becoming more critical by the second. 76 laps in the books.
Yeah, Billy Moyer still leading the way as we complete lap number 77. But again, we're going to take a look at Don O'Neill. What's he going to do? Is he just going to sit here and wait and see what our leaders do? Or is he really going to start putting on a charge here in about 5-10 laps?
Unfortunately for O'Neill, his car might have used up its best part in the early part of the race, leading those 23 laps and fighting with Billy Moyer when he took away the lead right off the get-go. And here we see coming down the front straightaway the stack of cars, including the 75 car, John Gill, 6M of Wendell Wallace, and a little to the high side, the 75 car, Bart Hartman out of Zanesville, Ohio. Ronnie Johnson in the 5 car, still inside Stan Massey from Mapleton, Georgia. Again, 2 of the Havre-Tampa regulars fighting with each other, and for the first time in his history, Stan Massey racing at West Plains Motor Speedway in a race other than a Havre-Tampa Series race.
Yeah, that's a battle for 9th and 10th back there in the back of the field. And meanwhile, our top 3 candidates, or our 3 leaders, they're starting to pull away from the pack.
Leading the way still, the charge is led by Billy Moyer Jr. Lap 90, 10 laps to go. Now 91 laps to go, correction, 9 laps to go. Billy Moyer looking to make it 3 out of 4 wins of the Show Me 100 in its first 4 years of history. $30,000 could be in his pocket if he can just hold on and keep the snake behind him from sliding up from behind. 4 laps to go. He's closing in on 3 laps to go. Scott Bloomquist still holding 2nd, but apparently falling behind, still just by inches behind Billy Moyer. Only Bloomquist has a shot at making it happen. He comes deep into low side of turn 1, dashes out in turn 2, kicks out, dives low into turn 3 like you watch right now, and with a little tire movement there, apparently there's a rough spot he goes through, comes to the high side on the front straightaway, but it's not enough. Whatever the groove is that Billy Moyer found is the one. 98 laps. Moyer will come around. He's got the white flag waiting for him, and 1 more lap to go to pay dirt at West Plains Motor Speedway. Moyer takes the white flag. Bloomquist takes the white flag. They're battling. It's continuing down to the final moments here, but unless something gets in the way, Bill Moyer is going to be the 4th winner of the Show Me 100 from West Plains Motor Speedway, and takes it with Scott Bloomquist coming in 2nd. Last year's winner 2nd, the year before, and the year before, Billy Moyer takes the win again from West Plains Motor Speedway. An incredible victory, an incredible accomplishment, and one of the best race cars in the business, again demonstrating that on that night it's his. We'll come back in a moment to West Plains Motor Speedway with our interview with tonight's winner of the Show Me 100, Billy Moyer Jr. from Batesville, Arkansas. 3 out of 4 times it's been his crown. The 4th annual Show Me 100 is brought to you by Ford Commercial Trucks, maker of the all-new Ford Aeromax 113, America's new Aeromax, and by Barry Wright Race Cars. With Barry Wright, it's done the right way. And by Gibson Racing, the host of the Show Me 100.
Billy Moyer Jr. from Batesville, Arkansas, your winner of the Show Me 100. And I tell you what, $30,000 is probably going to put a big smile on his face. And now let's go down to Trace in the winner's circle with an interview with Billy Moyer.
Billy Moyer, 3 out of 4. What can you say? I mean, $30,000 sure feels good, but I know how much you love to win, and win here as big as you did with Scott Bloomquist on your tail must feel incredible.
Well, it does. We just did what we could do, you know, did what we had to do, whatever. You know, at times I felt like I had car left, you know, and then he'd get up there and run me a little bit, and I'd try and pick it up, and I don't know, the car, I guess it's the tires, you know, they kind of come and go a little bit. There towards the end, you know, the car felt pretty good again, but just there for a few laps when he could run up beside me, like they go away a little bit, and you know, we just had to hang on, and them yellows play a factor, I think, on what the tires do. So, you know, I think we was all pretty much on the same rubber out there.
Did you have to consider getting out of that particular groove that looked so good for you so many times out of that 100 laps when Scott was beside you? Did you ever think you were going to have to leave where you were, maybe to hold him off?
Well, no, I just was going to hold my line, you know. I wasn't going to chop him down, whatever. I let him run there, and, you know, his car seemed to be on the bottom, maybe a little better than what mine was, but I could run right through the middle there, like when I passed O'Neill there. I could run the middle of the outside. Car was real good, you know. I was just going to let it come to me. When he pulled up beside me there, and I looked down, and I knew I couldn't let him in front of me, or, you know, because the cars are too equal, you know. I just knew it'd be tough to get back by him, so, you know, I was looking at this victory lane right here, and I said, this is it right here, so we, you know, had got to do it or don't right now.
You know, he did a great job, and we felt good tonight. We felt like we had the car that we could win with, and, you know, we just would have been nice to be starting up front, but we ran good. We feel good about it.
I think mine paid off, starting ninth and coming up and running third, and had a shot to win, I believe. You know, so that's what all you asked for, was a shot.
And a shot it was, all the way from 9th up to 3rd. Billy Moyer, of course, is your winner with $30,000, followed by Scott Bloomquist, Glenn Smith in 3rd, and Don O'Neill in 4th. In 5th, it's Bob Pierce, followed by John Gill, Wendell Wallace, and Ronnie Johnson in 8th. In 9th, one of the Star Series hitters, Bart Hartman, followed by Stan Massey. In 11th, Rex McCroskey, and 12th was Dale McDowell. In 13th, Terry Phillips, and then it was Rick Auckland, Jeff Floyd, and Mike Jewell. In 17th, Wayne Brooks, then David Gibson, followed by Jim Curry and Bub McCool. And in the final 4, Donnie Barnhart, Freddie Smith, Bob Pullman, and Al Perkey. Hotel accommodations provided to Alley Sports Marketing by Ramada Inn of